My name is Jerome Krase, and I'm Emeritus Professor and Murray Kompelman Professor at Brooklyn College of the City University of New York. And I've known or been familiar with Oleg Maltsev since about 2021, when I was invited to participate in some online forums that were being run by something which was newly created, the European Academy of Sciences of Ukraine. And so I participated in a number of online forums at that particular period of time. For example, one of them was the business of commodifying consumers. And I presented my ideas on it and discussion, and there was some debate, and Oleg was part of those. I think I participated in probably 4 or 5, including being interviewed by him a number of times about my sociology work, particularly my visual sociology work, and I made a number of remote presentations to the forum, and was also introduced to a number of other scientific journals and magazines in Ukraine. I was very happy to do that. Then I was asked to become the president of the academy, which is more of a, not a position of active, development, etc., but more as a figure for it. And I was very glad to help because after the illegal criminal invasion of Ukraine by Russia, I felt, and we felt, including Oleg, that scholars in Ukraine were having difficulty reaching out to the outside world, and it would become more difficult as time went on. So I was very happy to do that, and I wound up participating in quite a number of things. I have to say that as far as his scientific scholarship, et cetera, is concerned, I think it's excellent and it's unique. He's an interesting character. He has many, many different points of views and many, many different activities. And it puts him in, at least from my point of view, kind of a special space in scholarly activities. It's unusual, it's different, and because it's unusual and different, it brings out certain ideas that would ordinarily be missed. I was especially impressed by the book that he wrote about Jean Baudrillard, Il Maestro, and I actually wrote a review of that, and it was actually a glowing review. I thought the work was really very good. And I've also written a preface for something else that's coming out, a new book, which is the Strike in the Worst Way Possible about war crimes in Ukraine. I've also invited him, and he participated in a conference that I co-organized with the university, Charles University in Prague, and which I was supported by the United States Fulbright Foundation, and Oleg presented remotely a presentation there because of the difficulty of work in Ukraine. In fact, at that time, there was some of the Russian attacks in that area made it very difficult for the group to participate, but they went out of their way to do it, which shows a great deal of courage and scientific commitment. I also participated in actually 2 special issues of the American Behavioral Scientist, where his work was published and received quite a bit of praise. Okay. And the idea that he would be in any way supportive of the criminal activities of Russia in Ukraine or anywhere else in the world is for me totally absurd. Because everything I've read and every conversation I've had with him about these activities has been, totally negative. He's more negative than I am. I'm more of a pragmatist when it comes to all different kinds of things, but he's, just totally against. In fact, one of the things he's writing about is the Wagner Group, which is an excellent piece, and which kind of explains that kind of criminal activity and how it takes place, with its source in Russia. So and he's, from what I understand, for whatever reason, I'm totally unaware of why he would have been in any kind of trouble, and he's being detained. And I consider him a close colleague and a friend, and I'm very supportive of him. And I'm assuming that when this whatever investigation is done, that he'll be absolved, because that's the only way that justice would take place, as far as I'm concerned. And I wish him all the best. So Oleg, if you get to hear this, I'm rooting for you. I'm supporting you, and I wish you all the best.